Being a lifelong fan of Harvest Moon games, when I first heard of Stardew Valley, I basically wrote it off as just another cheap copycat, as I had seen so many of them over the years. But after finding out that a friend from work was playing it on Steam, I was curious enough to give it a try, even though PC isn't my preferred platform to play games. Boy am I glad I did, because it is such a good game. I still remember the first night playing. I had planned on only playing about an hour before bed, which quickly turned into 2, and then before I know it, it was 4 a.m. and I had to be at school at 8 the next day. The game is just so good. As of recording this, I've played just over 85 hours of it on Steam, which to me is a huge time sink for a game that isn't Pokemon or Animal Crossing. But this video isn't about explaining Stardew Valley. It's been out since early 2016 and there are many reviews to tell you what the game is about. What I want to discuss here is how does the Switch version compare to the original. I really do believe that, control-wise, Stardew Valley works best with mouse and keyboard, because really, any game with a heavy use of inventory management just inherently does. And honestly, this was my main concern about playing Stardew on a console of any kind. But I'm happy to say that after a couple of hours, the controls started to feel quite natural, and now after having played for multiple days, I'm farming just as efficiently as ever. Using A to interact with objects, and Y to use your item feels very instinctive, and scrolling through inventory with ZR and ZL is actually quite quick and easy. You use the X button to do any crafting, the plus button is for your menu, and minus shows you your quest log. If you're going to play on your TV, I would strongly suggest the Pro Controller. It's one of my favorite controllers ever, right up there with the GameCube and the DualShock 4. However, the biggest hook for the Switch version, of course, is the portability. The game was made to be portable. It is the very definition of a pick-up-and-play game. Because the in-game days are so short, in theory you can spend as much or as little time with it as you want. You could play a whole month in a sitting, or if you're pressed for time, you could just play one day. The day after the game was released on Switch, I brought it to school and played Stardew Valley through my 2-hour break between classes. It was the perfect way to justify not catching up on 3 chapters of reading I'm behind on. To sum up, adding portability to Stardew more than makes up for the slightly inferior controls. You also don't have to worry about the way that the game runs, as the Switch is more than capable of handling it, and the 2D art style is fantastic on the Switch screen. I certainly plan on returning to my old farm. I've spent way too much time in it to just let that go, but I can see myself getting dozens, maybe over 100 hours of gameplay out of this new portable version. For all of these factors, I would definitely give Stardew Valley on the Switch an 8 out of 10.